again, we're following a top story today that has continuing updates and developments here. It's a church shooting in Charleston, South Carolina. 9 people killed when a gunman opened fire at a Bible study.
That's right. The Department of Justice is now opening up a hate crime investigation into that mass murder. For more insight, we go to CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reid, who is in Washington. Paula, explain to our viewers the definition of a hate crime vis-a-vis the law.
Vlad and Contessa, it's incredibly significant that the federal government is getting involved in this case at this point. Now, a hate crime is any kind of traditional crime, arson, murder, robbery, but with an element of bias. It's one thing to burn down someone's house, but if you burn down their house because you don't like their race, the fact that they have a disability, their religion, or their gender, then it falls under the federal hate crime statutes. Now, back in 2009, the laws were expanded to give the federal government, particularly the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division, expanded authority to go after hate crimes. Again, it is not a crime to hate someone, but if that hate drives you to commit an act of violence against them, then it could potentially become a hate crime.
So, Paula, you said at this point, characterizing it as a hate crime was noteworthy. Why is it noteworthy at this point in the investigation, and how does it change the investigation by classifying it as a hate crime?
The overwhelming majority of hate crimes are handled at the state level, and there's a hodgepodge of different protections and laws in each state. But by getting the federal government and all the resources of the FBI and the Department of Justice involved at this point, again, it's incredibly rare, but it's so significant because now officials in South Carolina will have so many resources for forensic investigations and manpower to look into this case and potentially bring charges.
And Paula, how common is the federal government getting involved in crimes that are local like this? And this is fairly new legislation, so how common are hate crimes since this law was enacted?
Well, it's very rare for the federal government to step in and get involved in a federal hate crime and actually bring it to the point of prosecution. And we all report on numerous instances where the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Unit has gotten involved in various police shootings and some hate crimes. But overall, it is very rare, especially to get to the point where you prosecute these individuals. So going forward, the FBI will investigate, they'll talk to witnesses, they'll gather evidence and make a recommendation to the Department of Justice as to whether or not there should be charges brought in this case.
Justice reporter Paula Reid. Paula, thank you so much.